Hey there and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to get a handle on 25 new English words from WordSmart's List 20. Ready to dive in?
You know, when you're trying to learn new vocabulary, especially for a test, just looking at a long list can be tough. So we're going to group these words together. Trust me, it makes them way easier to remember when you can see how they connect. Our first group? It's all about some pretty strong feelings.
So, this first set of words covers the whole spectrum, from really good feelings to really, really bad ones.
Okay, first up is laud. To laud someone is just a fancy way of saying you're praising them. A lot. Imagine a teacher is just blown away by a student's project and tells the whole class how fantastic it is. She is lauding that student. Or think about a hero who saves the day. The crowds would definitely laud them for their courage.
So, lauding is all about lifting someone up and celebrating them. But what about the complete opposite of that? What's the word for when you want to make fun of someone?
Well, that's where lampoon comes in. When you lampoon something, you're mocking it, but usually in a clever way to make a point. You know those political cartoons you see in the news, the ones that make politicians look ridiculous to criticize them? That cartoon is a lampoon. It's basically criticism hidden inside a joke.
So here you can see they're perfect opposites, right? You laud someone to build them up with praise, you lampoon them to make a critical point with humor. One feels good, the other, not so much.
Now let's switch gears to another big emotion, sadness. When you lament something, you're showing really deep sadness or regret. You might lament that your amazing vacation is over, or maybe you'd lament a mistake you made. It's a real, deep sorrow.
Okay, so lamenting is real, genuine sadness. But what if someone is acting sad in a really, dramatic, over-the-top kind of way? Almost like they're putting on a show. And that brings us to the word lugubrious. This describes a sadness that's so exaggerated, it might even seem a little fake or silly. You might lament a serious loss, but someone being lugubrious might have this super droopy, gloomy face and a sad voice over something really small. It's all about that theatrical, over-the-top gloominess.
Let's move on to our second group. This one is all about words that describe our mood and energy levels, from feeling really heavy and tired to feeling light and cheerful.
Let's start with 3 words for feeling kind of blah. First, there's lethargy. That's just a state of having zero energy. You feel sluggish, lazy, you just don't want to do anything. Now, if that feeling goes on for a long time, you might start to languish. That's when you actually become weak and depressed from that lack of energy. And finally, malaise. This one's a little different. It's more of a general feeling that something's just off. You don't feel quite right, maybe a little sick or uneasy, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
And now for the complete opposite of all that heavy, gloomy stuff, levity. Levity is all about lightness and humor. Imagine you're in a super serious, tense meeting. If someone cracks a little joke, that brings some levity to the room and helps everyone chill out. It literally lifts the heavy mood.
Okay, group 3. This one's pretty straightforward. We're going to look at words that describe good actions versus, bad ones.
So on the good side, we've got largesse. This is just the act of being incredibly generous, usually with money. You might say a billionaire is known for their largesse if they donate a ton of money to good causes. Then there's magnanimous. This is more about having a generous spirit. A truly magnanimous athlete, after winning a big game, will praise their opponent instead of just bragging. It shows they have a really big heart.
Now for the bad words. And listen up because I have a fantastic tip for you here. See this on the screen? The prefix mal, M-A-L. Whenever you see this at the start of an English word, it is a huge clue that the word means something bad. This little trick is a total game changer.
Let's see it in action. Malfeasance is a bad, illegal act, especially when it's done by a public official. A malignant tumor is a bad, very harmful type of cancerous growth, and to malinger is to do something bad, to fake being sick to get out of work. See? Mal is your signal for bad.
Here's one more word for our bad deeds category. A machination. This is a secret, complicated, and usually evil plan. You know, like in a spy movie, the villain is always cooking up some kind of evil machination to take over the world.
All right, moving right along to our fourth group. This one is all about whether something is easy to see, totally hidden, or easy to change.
So these 3 words all mean clear, just in slightly different ways. A lucid explanation is super clear and easy to get. Something luminous, like a bright star, is literally shining or giving off light. And if a feeling is manifest, it's just plain obvious. Like, If someone is smiling from ear to ear, their happiness is manifest for everyone to see.
Now, here's the perfect contrast. If something is manifest, it's out in the open. But if it's latent, it's there, but it's hidden. For instance, you might have a latent talent for painting. That skill is inside you, but maybe you just haven't discovered it yet. It's potential that's waiting to come out.
Our next word, malleable, describes anything that's easy to shape or bend. Think about modeling clay. It's super malleable. You can also use this word for people. A person with a malleable mind is easy to influence or persuade.
And here we are, our fifth and final group. These words all have to do with the world of business, law, and how people influence each other.
Let's see how these connect. So a loquacious person is someone who is very, very talkative. Someone who is loquacious might use their words to become a magnate, a super wealthy and powerful person in business. That magnate might then issue a mandate, which is an official order for everyone to follow. And a successful magnate, of course, hopes to leave behind a great legacy, something positive for the future.
And finally, two words from the legal world. To litigate simply means to go to court over a legal issue. And one big reason people decide to litigate is because of libel. Libel is when someone writes and publishes a lie about another person that really hurts their reputation. So, if a newspaper printed something false about a celebrity, that celebrity might decide to litigate.
All right, let's put it all together with a final challenge. Think about this sentence for a second. How might a loquacious magnate use libel to tarnish the legacy of a magnanimous rival? Let's break it down. A talkative, powerful business leader using published lies to ruin the reputation of a generous competitor. See? When you can build sentences like that, you know these words are really starting to stick.